Hey guys, Pastor Myers here. Welcome to our second episode of I Got a Question. Thank you guys for sending in your questions. We are getting a bunch of them, and I promise you we will get to them. Today's episode, we're going to be covering two questions. Question number one is this: do you believe Satan will impersonate Jesus before or after the close of probation for the world? This question deals with the idea that Satan will pretend to be Christ, and it is considered the last deception before Jesus returns to this earth to claim his own. The answer to this question is really very simple. I want you to think of it like this. If the purpose of Satan is to deceive the very elect, that would mean that probation must still be open in order for people to be able to change their minds, in order for people to be deceived. When Satan appears as Jesus, he is doing so with the hopes of changing people's minds, of leading them to believe something different than what they believed before. So when Satan appears, probation is still open, right? People can still choose whether they're going to accept this counterfeit as the Messiah or reject him as the Messiah. If Satan were to appear after probation closes, everybody's mind is already made up. His deception wouldn't be deception at all. It wouldn't mean anything. So it is clear that when he appears, it is while probation is still open to the world. And by the way, probation only closes once, right? There's not a close of probation for the church and then a close of probation for the world. That is another question that we'll probably get into at another time. But probation closes when Michael stands up, and Michael stands up only once. Question number two: should a Christian have a gun to protect themselves in these crazy times? Person goes on to say, I don't have a gun, I've never touched one. I don't believe in killing anybody, but I do believe that we have the right to protect ourselves to the best of our ability. So to answer that question, I'm going to say this. I'm going to rephrase that. Does a Christian have a right to bear arms? And I'm going to answer that we already bear arms. We can use these as weapons, right? The question to me is not about guns, although we have a Second Amendment right, in America that, it is legal to bear arms. Everybody knows that. But I think the real question is, do we have a right to defend ourselves? Yeah, guns kill. Baseball bats can kill. Knives can kill. Hands can kill. So I believe that the bottom line is that you have a right to defend yourself, to defend your family. If someone breaks into your home and they are harming your children, you are not going to stand by and watch them harm your children, right? You're going to call the police, you're going to do what you need to do, but in the meantime, you're not going to stand there and allow them to harm your children, right? If I'm in a situation, I'm doing whatever I can to restrain that person as best I can. And what that looks like, I can't tell you. I just hope I will never be in that situation. But I can tell you that you do have a right to protect yourself, to protect your family. It's a challenging question for a lot of people, but I will say this: it is not a sin to have a gun, any more than it is a sin to have a knife, any more than it is a sin to have a baseball bat, or a sin to have arms that can be considered deadly weapons, right? Hands that can be considered deadly weapons. You have a right to defend yourself and defend your family, and pray that you never find yourself in a situation like that. So I hope that answers your question, and I will see you on the next episode of I Got a Question. So remember, if you have a question, go ahead and text 866-463-5262 or 866-GOD-LAMB, and make sure to follow me on Instagram at Ivor Myers. I will see you in our next episode.